Hi everyone, this is Joe down at OSA, aka Mulvey, and I want to talk to you today about feeding your fish dry food. It's my favorite subject. Everyone knows that I love to feed the fish. I come in, I make the food, I go around and feed everybody. I think it's from being half Italian, maybe. But I want to talk to you about why we might feed dry food and not just frozen food. We start out in the hobby with dry food, right? Everyone gets a can of dry food as a kid. You feed your fish dry food. Dry food is known synonymously as fish food. And then we learned that frozen food will actually grow your fish bigger and make them fatter, beefier. So a lot of us use frozen food as we become experts in the field. However, there are still reasons to use dry food. Bloodworms, frozen bloodworms, may not contain a ton of carotenoids, which make your fish brightly colored. You want to feed your fish foods that contain lots of carotenoids. If you buy a beautiful red discus, you're not going to want that fish to fade and become orange. You want it to be red, right? So we like to use foods that will enhance red color. These foods contain tons of pigments like astaxanthin and carotenoids. They will make your fish brighter. I'm not saying don't feed bloodworms. We still feed bloodworms. In fact, that's what the fish like. You see them go after that? They like the bloodworms. It gets them eating, it puts weight on them, which is great. This is Hikari Vibra Bites. We like this food. It will make your fish very bright. The fish don't always want dry food though. Discus are very picky, and other fish too. So we have a little trick. We like to put a little of the dry food in with our frozen food. And when we feed, the fish will be tricked. You're going to see them eat. The bloodworms and the vibrobites look very similar, and the fish will eat both, and they're going to get a better diet than just frozen food alone. What is the best dry food to feed your African cichlids? I really do like a sinking pellet. If you feed a floating pellet to your African cichlids, it's going to soak with water once they eat it, and it will blow up. Africans don't do well being fed like that. So use a great sinking pellet. This one has spirulina in it, which is especially good for your African cichlids. Also high in pigment enhancers. You'll see that Hikari does a lot of foods with carotenoids and pigment enhancers, such as this one, and also this one. Why else would we feed dry food to your fish? If you only feed frozen food and you want to go away for a week, you might consider buying an automatic feeder. Frozen food is not going to work in an automatic feeder. If your fish are spoiled and only eat frozen food, you're going to go away and they're not going to eat the dry food that you would have to use in an automatic feeder. So if you have, even if you have saltwater fish, there are dried foods made for saltwater fish, such as this one, Hikari S, Marine S. This is a great food. We use this for clownfish, dottybacks, cardinals, angelfish. You can use this food in an automatic feeder. For bright color in your fish, krill, freeze-dried krill. There is no greater food to enhance the color of your fish than krill. Krill is that orange color. That's the carotenoids in the food. That's going to really enhance the color of your fish. You don't want to buy, say, a red parrotfish or a tiger oscar that's bright red and then over time have them fade because you're feeding a staple diet that's low in carotenoids. Use a food that's high in pigment enhancers. For your corals, also dry food. This is a great one. Coral Max, Fritz Coral Max. We love this food. This has zooplankton and marine algae in it. The corals thrive on this food. Great food, Fritz Coral Max. We also have our own flake food at OSA. I want to show you how, also if you have a tank with overflows, you don't want to feed floating food just by dropping it on the top of the tank. You want to hold the food in the water and let it sink. You don't want the food going down into your overflow, polluting your water. You want the fish to be able to get to it. So that's a good way to feed dry food. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows it's best to feed a varied diet. Don't rely on one type of food. We cringe when we ask people, what do you feed? And they say, just one particular food. Feed a variety of food. Make sure that they accept different foods. They can be trained. We are here to help you decide which foods are best for your fish. Thank you.